One of the saviors of the Battle of Britain taking a flyby on the table. Here it comes. What is it? I know, awful motor sound, but what plane was that? Spitfire, Nutnfancy? Nope. Hawker Hurricane? Yes, that's it. Hawker Hurricane. The shy guy in the back of the classroom. Yeah, well done, dude. Yeah, it's Hawker Hurricane. Corgi 172nd metal model. Oh my gosh, what a cool model this is. Great British green coloration. Definitely one of the saviors of the Battle of Britain. Larger numbers of the Hurricanes were in operation before the Spits came online. This one has a big 30mm cannon on it, 4 of them, and one of them, of course, is snapped off through wear and tear in the Nutnfancy Mini Aviation Museum. Yeah, cool. So that's just, I don't know, making its presence known on the tabletop. See ya, Hurricane. Off it goes. What else do we have on the table? Well, one of the TMP Special Edition Lightnings. This is serial number, oh my goodness, Quad 0? Is that even possible? Yes, it is possible. Not signed yet. Quad 0. So congratulations to those TMPers who are going to score one of the Special Edition TMP Lightnings. We will release them soon. Probably by the time this video posts, they will have been released, and they will sell out probably in an afternoon at Blade HQ's sister website, Grindworks. Yeah, so sorry if you didn't get one, but stay tuned. Join TMP Patreon because I'm going to release special edition information there first, and then just prior to release, I'll tweet it, maybe make a video on it. These will sell out quick, though. Probably, like I said, within an afternoon. So it's really cool. Powder blue, two-tone. We have some black variations too. Black blade. Each one is laser engraved with a serial number, TMP. This is kind of a TMP powder blue. And it's an affordable knife. Really affordable. Yet it's kind of collectible. Some patches. We were kind of running low on stock. TMP website, Nutnfancy Big Cartel. Will we order more? Talk to Doodle about that. Excuse me. I ain't running it. I ain't running that. And then we have an Invicta iForce watch there, modded by myself. It's programmed. I may show you that again. All right, to the focus of the video. A very, very cool watch. I hope a lot of people watch this WRV because I'm pretty much going to rave about this watch, something I seldom do. On anything. If you look at my reviews, usually I have many negative things to say about everything. Well, not everything, but I will not shy away from pointing out the quirks and the misses on any gear item, whether it's a knife, whether it's a gun. That's my job. I'm a reviewer. And I assume you tune into the show for product buying advice. Is that still a reason why people watch TMP after 13 years of operation? Yeah, Nutnfancy, that's the main reason I tune in. Okay, thanks. Love that guy. So in that case, do me a favor. If you like this watch, click on that link below. Make the drop active again because it has sold through on the drop website, formerly known as Mass Drop. I know, I didn't change the name. So it was Mass Drop. If you're not familiar with what it is, it's a group buying service. Guys will click on a certain item, it'll group buy, you get it for a lower price, maybe a special variation, and then when the drop becomes active, usually a month, 2 months later, they ship. So it's not a quick way to get things, but it's a way to get them usually for less money. I paid, for instance, $100 for the CCCP Aurora. $100 for this thing. What a deal. Now, if you go back into the history of my WRVs, we've been doing, what, watch reviews here, 4 years, whatever it is. One of the things I've been saying is I'm really wanting a cross between a diver aesthetic and a field watch aesthetic. I don't think anyone listens to my show. But strangely enough, this is happening in several makers. And this maker, CCCP, is one of them. So I have no doubt this is a Chinese-produced watch, which means it's going to be awesome. Chinese really have their act together. It's been that way for a long time. And they're not going to rip you off like the Swiss do. They're not. Or for that matter, the Japanese will charge you an arm and a leg for one of their watches. So it's affordable. This really nails the aesthetic that I love. It is, again, kind of a dive watch, kind of a field watch. Now, there's been a trend going on, and I completely welcome it, that when you get a somewhat diver like this, what you do is you put a leather strap on it. And that's what they did with the Aurora. And in the drop, and I have screen footage saved from when I bought these, I'm going to roll across different variations, different straps. Oh my gosh, the straps are so perfect on this watch. If you take the straps off these watches, I will really question your judgment. Unless you're going to get it wet. If you're really going to take it in the water and stuff, I can totally understand it. But I'm saying for daily wear, EDC and the Aurora, look at how perfect this is. I mean, it's got the thick leather Italian. I don't know if this is Italian or not, but man, is it nice. And I have two versions to show you. I've worn both of these, and so has Tactical Doodle, a lot. Comfortable, stable on the wrist, which is another thing I'm going to start talking about. When you get a thicker leather like this, you don't have to strap it across your wrist like this and really cinch it down to prevent it from twisting. It can kind of just drape. It just holds on your wrist because the leather is so thick and rigid. I really have learned to love thicker leather straps. They're not too sweaty. They're comfortable. They don't dig into your skin. They will adapt to a wide temperature variety. Oh my God, and they're great looking. I mean, these are 22 millimeter lugs on the Aurora, whip stitched here at the lugs, double keepers. There is one thing I'll say bad about the strap. The keeper on this one, the pin that retained it totally fell off, and I actually had to fit on a Mondaine clasp on it. This one is stock. I'm going to show you another watch. You'll see it'll say Mondaine on it because I'm a programmer of watches. I change things around to improve them. And anyways, it's kind of a small thing, but that little pin here was poorly sized. Got the CCCP signed clasp here. That's pretty cool. Just perfect straps. Oh my goodness, are they good. Let's take a look at the underneath of the Aurora while we're here. It has a Seiko NH35 movement, which, by the way, is one of my favorite movements. Here's why. It hacks, it's accurate, it's durable, and it doesn't rip me off. Why do I need to go out and spend more on a movement? I don't get it. Now, as a pseudo watch reviewer, I concentrate at the $300 or less mark, usually. I'll bounce out of that when and if I want to. I'll review a $1,000 watch, but usually I don't. Usually around $100. This one's $100. Why do I need to spend more? I don't get it. Okay, and after having taken apart so many watches, at this point, autos and quartz, you really realize they're basically the same watch. What you're getting is markup. And now granted, you may have an aesthetic like in this Aurora, you're going to have a hard time finding exactly this in another watch at this price point. So for aesthetics, I get it. Pay a little bit more. But you really realize how much markup there is in these dang watches. It's insane. After you've taken apart and looked inside over and over and over again, you're like, these watches are the same. Thanks for listening to the rant. Nutnfancy, we love your rants. Screw in case back. This is not sapphire. I think it's just mineral. But look at how cool that is. It's, you know, I guess a tribute to the old Soviet Union, CCCP. It's just cool. So there's no really decorative rotor in there, and I don't care. It's a $100 watch. The case back is perfectly executed, if you ask me. Real easy to remove and access it if you want to program it. And by the way, the other one I've shown you, I've programmed, which means I've modded it, and I'll show you that too. I'm kind of saving it. Now, if you guys were to look at this case, I bet you I know one of the criticisms if you're looking at it. What is that? It has really sharp corners to it, Nutnfancy. Wow, that guy's sharp. No pun intended. You're right, it does. It has some sharp transitions here on the Aurora. And when I first got the watch, I did study it online before I pulled the trigger on it. But let me tell you this, after spending many hours with these two watches, I didn't notice it like this. And actually, I really like it, and here's why. It's different. It's a different grind to the 316L stainless steel. It's just different. And I thought for sure I would really notice this sharp point here. Nope, didn't. Not at all. Yeah, so it's kind of a satin finish case on this. The sizing on this, for me, is total perfection. You're going to look at 46 millimeters across on the CCCP Aurora, 13 millimeters in thickness, 54 millimeters in the downturned lugs. And that is wunderbar. It is perfect for me. Oh my gosh, this I-Force is also excellent. I like the bigger watch. And this does not suffer from the small face watch syndrome, of which I've discussed at length in my WRVs. That's why I think it is really kind of a field watch with a timing bezel and a leather strap. Yeah, it really is. Let's go back to here though. So we've got kind of a star on the crown, which is non-screw down. So you might consider this to be a dust diver, right? Yeah, I mean the water resistance is right there in the face, 100 meters. I did not have an opportunity to specifically dive the Aurora. I don't think I would have. Because I don't know. I just think of it more of a field watch, really. But if you wanted to, I think you could go down to 40 feet with this. Maybe not 40, but maybe 30 feet or something like that, and be fine. But you should use another watch for that. Probably your dive computer. There you go. On to the aesthetics of this. It's pretty much, not completely, pretty much all good with the Aurora. Now again, this is just my take on things. I like really good hands, and oh my gosh, I'm laughing because I'm such a stickler on hands. I am, and I just got that way by running watches with such weenie hand execution, and it's rampant in the industry. Cathedral hands, syringe hands, hollow hands, partially painted hands, hands you can't see, hands that blend in the back. I'm so sick of it that I became a programmer. I just changed the hands at will. And the hands on these are really good, the Aurora. Really good. And I'm not going to turn the lights off now. Somewhere along the way, I'll show you a loom shot of what it looks like. They are fantastic. It's not Swiss Super Luminova, by the way. It's not. But for a $100 watch, it's right where it should be. Fading quickly, of course. It doesn't last forever. But the hands, you have a big triangle, or I should say arrow tip for the hours hand, and just a basic sword hand for your minutes hand, with a highly legible seconds hand. Well done. I said it's not completely perfect. I'm going to stick with that. One of the things I do not like on this version of the Aurora is that it's shiny on the hands. So it's outlined, and you can see it like it's just pressed aluminum, these hands are. And no, I don't like that. I don't. It really bugs me. I don't. I like solid color hands. I like high legibility. I like clean, 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 clean. Did I say clean enough? I'll say it once more. Clean hands. There you go. Okay, that's all I'm going to say negative about the hands. The rest is good. Notice the hours hands comes out far enough. That's a win. It's not super stubby. Same with the seconds hand. Look at it. Almost comes out to the marker, the outer case. And they don't waste time with an inner chapter ring taking up valuable face presentation space. You got a date function here and positive display. It is legible. You got good markers on them with a kind of a brushed aluminum face on them. Shiny markers I don't care for too much. Sorry, just me. But these are satin finish, so I can totally deal with them. And then each variation, this is the black and blue variation, and it's the -01. So this is a CCCP Aurora 7041 model, and you might be able to find it in other places besides drop. If not, use the drop link. This is the -01 variation. $100. Did I mention it's $100 for an auto watch with this strap, this look? Wow. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Yeah, so they don't have an inner chapter ring. It has a large effective face. This is what I've talked about in other watch reviews. It's like, why can't we get a watch that has a thinner timing bezel? Because I love having a timing bezel on it. I use it all the time. I do. I use it all the time. And the bezel, as it goes, it's a 120 click bezel. Positive enough. Not the best bezel I've ever seen in my life, but I haven't had any problems with it. Unidirectional. And I don't, yeah, it does have like a little loom pip right here at the 12 o'clock. It's not ceramic. It's not a ceramic inlay here. I think it's just anodized, but remember the price. And the knurling on it is perfect. It's low profile. I have gloves on. You saw I'm able to turn it easily with gloves. This is a very well executed watch if you like this aesthetic, and I do. I love it. I've only shared with you a couple minor criticisms. Here's the other variation, and I will tell you right now, this one has been programmed. This is a Nutnfancy mod watch, and if you haven't seen any other WRVs, that means I actually take the watch apart and I change the things that annoy me. And what annoyed me on the CCCP Aurora are the hands. And now I'm wearing completely white hands. Look at how clean that looks. Holy freak, that looks good. Oh my gosh. I mean, I am so enthusiastic after the mod. I was before, but after the mod, I'm over the moon. Like, wow, that looks fantastic. And it's so, we're detail people. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't into details. Doing a watch review is, guess what? About details. The details. The hands, markers, the loom. All these are tiny, tiny details. And most people look at us and go, you watched a watch review? That's weird. Guess what? Everything we do is weird. We're into knives, guns, watches. It's weird. It's niche. But if we're going to talk about details of the watches, I just said it in this review, one of the biggest are how the hands are executed. I can totally live with the Aurora like this. I want to make that point clear. Just like this. Perfect legibility. You still have loom on them. It's nice. And after I taped it, this is non-loom now. So I don't have any loom with this one. At least right here where I tape the hands. Because that's just 3M auto tape that I use. And I have a video out. I will link it below. Maybe you should just search it out. And I show you how the taping process works. You too can become a watch programmer. And oh my gosh, it just looks so perfect. Didn't have to do anything with the seconds hand. The yellow matches the little circular markers there. Those I can't remember. I think the loom is actually in the rectangular markers. And by the way, the markers, the graduation is perfect. And you see how smooth it is with the NH35 Seiko movement inside. I just love this NH35. I know, I just said that. My gosh, I love these have timing bezels on. It's just so fantastic. You know what I use the bezel for now? This is so funny, and I'll probably say this in about 1,000 more videos, is I actually keep track of how many a-holes I meet on the road. Up, a-hole, there's one. Up, a-hole, two. And I get to the point where I'm like, I'm talking about like people who cut you off in traffic, make you come off cruise, make you slam on your brakes, don't let you merge, or actually just in generally in life. And you know, a good day is like, I don't know, I only got 3, and I'm just going to the left. I'm being serious. I actually do this. It's so fun. It's like a little hobby of mine. A really bad day is if my bezel's like all the way over here, dudes. Oh my gosh, I had like 11 a-hole interactions. That's bad. Oh my gosh. Oh, and by the way, if you were an a-hole, you've got to deduct one. So be honest. Yeah, you didn't know you could use your bezel for that. It's perfect. I actually got to the point where I hate when I'm not wearing a timing bezel. I know, it's so ridiculous. It just is a great stress reliever. It's fun. And then you get to the point you're like, I don't know. That guy, you know, no, he doesn't deserve a bezel rotation. I mean, it was kind of rude, but no, not an a-hole. That's what I meant. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. I shared that with you, but it's fun. All right, look at this date. So it's outlined in yellow. This is the -02 blue face version. It's kind of a mallard blue. And notice the strap is a different color. I have not changed these straps out. Again, I would not advise you doing it either. 100 meter, water resistant, Aurora. Perfect straps. Oh my gosh, I'm so loving these watches. Okay, so let me show you some competitive options, which I am known for. And we're kind of going to go all over the map with these. They're not necessarily in the same genre. Some are going to be more expensive. Kind of like the Glycine Combat 6, I think is this one. That's a fantastic watch. Oh my gosh, the Glycine Combat is classic field watch. No a-hole timing bezel, which is sad. Very sad. I'm dead serious. When I don't have a timing bezel on, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have a timing bezel. Let's see how big this one is. It's really a nice size. Really nice. It's bigger than that. 43. But these field watches with a super razor thin bezels present so much larger because they have a larger effective face. Now, one aesthetic we don't have in the Aurora that we have in the Glycine is the military time on the inner ring here. Whatever, you know, that's fine. This is a much more expensive watch, though. I mean, you could buy 3 of these for one Glycine Combat. I think they're a little bit overpriced. Sapphire crystal, and it has, I think, an ETA Swiss auto movement. Again, you know, is it any better than NH35? Here's my opinion. No, it's not. Still a great watch. I love it. It's an awesome watch. Here comes another one, and this is, I don't know if it's readily available. It's programmed. This is an Invicta iForce with an OD NATO strap on it. I programmed the freak out of this one. So the hands were horrible. You couldn't even see them. They're like white against white. And now this is actually luminescent orange. It's luminescent. So I do hands mods with luminescent orange. Oh my gosh, trying to turn this light off is impossible. Just take it from me. They show up great, and they have the same luminosity as these hands. It's not Swiss Super Luminova. This is a very hard material to work with, though. To tape hands in that, very difficult. It's really easy to bend your hands and completely ruin your watch. But look at this. So this has a tachymeter inner chapter ring here, which I never use, nor will you. It's just for looks. It looks pretty cool, though, but that really cuts down the effective face on the iForce. I still love it. And it's kind of a chronograph, too. Kind of cool. And I signed this one, by the way. Anytime I mod a watch out, it'll be signed on the case as a Nutnfancy mod watch. I think I did it with this one. I'm not going to take strap off. It's up under there somewhere. So anyways, against the Aurora, again, we don't have a timing bezel, but we have a chronograph in this one. That's just something. You can't keep track of those special interactions. How about the Atlas 44 that Momentum came out with? This needs no mods, bros. This watch is so perfect. I mean, the Atlas 38 that I did reviews when I first started the watch show, great watch. It was so tiny for me, though. I just couldn't run anymore. I gave it away to a TMP Patreon member, of which I do frequently. A lot of the watches you see reviewed, they're either sold or they're just given away, making room for more. The Atlas 44 is fantastic. You can't, and the whole face is luminous. So you just have the black stick hands shown up against the face. It's just total perfection. So, and this is not a sapphire crystal, I don't believe, nor would I waste money on any Momentum equipped with a sapphire. They charge you like 50 bucks extra or 40 bucks extra. Save your money and just do what I do. Get the armor suit material, make your own crystal protectors. Both of these watches have them on the CCCP Aurora. What else do I got? Oh, we got this iForce in the background. I showed that in another WRV. And, oh, what do you know? We have an SNE 329 still here before I've shipped it out, giving it away. And that's about it. I should wrap it up. See if I have any other cool watches. Oh, what do I have on my wrist? Oh, the Air Blue. I think I called it the Air Boss in another video. It's the Deep Blue Air Blue. So that's been modded by myself. Super cool. Kind of Flieger aesthetic. Still has a Bell & Ross numerals, which I will contend are completely overplayed. Notice that this Invicta doesn't. Those aren't Bell & Ross numerals. And nor does this. I forgot to mention that. I really like the typeface that the Aurora uses. Non-Bell & Ross. Congratulations. Golf clap. Thank you, CCCP. Very well done. That is silver played. Oh, and then last but not least, I'll show again the Alpina Start Timer Pilot. Very expensive. For me, I shouldn't say very. It's $275. That's not that expensive. But for my audience, you know, oh my goodness, $275. Dude, that's nothing in the watch world. I mean, you can't even buy a strap usually for that amount. Great high value Swiss watch option. If you get it for $275, this watch, just get it. Yeah, the Alpina Start Timer. Awesome. Okay, wrapping it up. Feature length WRV. We have a good time, bro. We have a good time. The Aurora Triple CP is fantastic. I have only very minor quibbles on it. It is better programmed, of course. But even as it comes out of the box, it's going to give you great wearing pleasure. It has a beautiful wrist presence on it. It's a classically styled dive and field watch cross aesthetic, and it's just really well executed. Well done, drop, and well done, CCCP. Over and out. Lieutenant Colonel Nutnfancy.